Maybe restream. Oh no, the eye did just pop up as soon as we come on, Ethan. Of course, I was waiting for the eye to pop up in the left corner of the restream screen because usually that's when we can see when we're live. But with that being said, now we are live for real. I was wondering why it was taking a little bit long. And it's been 10 days since the last time we talked, Ethan. We were recapping the Spurs Hawks Summer League game. That was the end of Summer League.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. And now
true.
we have had a little bit of Spurs news. Obviously, the last time we talked as well, I believe DeJounte had gotten traded, so there was that going on. But the big news that has happened since then, Ethan, is Keldon Johnson getting an $80 million extension with the San Antonio Spurs. Just what's your reaction to that? I know it's a little bit of old news at this point, but it's the first time since we've talked. So what were your kind of thoughts on that when you heard that?
I'm very happy with it. I mean, it's not an outrageous deal. It's a very generous offer that he was able to accept. And for a guy his age, for the guy with his kind of potential, I think we got him at a bargain, especially for 4 years. I mean, he is the future of this team, at least for now, until further notice. And we, obviously are big Keldon fans. I know some guys are out there are a little skeptical of his ceiling. They don't believe that he can rise to that all-star level player, but we happen to believe that that is the case for Keldon Johnson. So I'm just happy to have a guy on the roster that is guaranteed for 4 more years, at least unless he demands a trade, but we're not going to talk about that. That we can count on, especially since our roster at this point is pretty subpar, Jude.
Yeah, it kind of scares me. I'm going to be honest because it gives me DeJounte vibes. Like, it just makes me feel like it's the same contract, and in 3 years, we're just going to trade him for 3 first-round picks. But I'm going to hope that that's not going to happen. Ideally, the timeline that we're on, you pick him and you give him that contract to kind of build around him. But I don't know. If we're in the play-in 3 years, we might be right back to square one, Ethan. That's the only thing that concerns me about this. But I like how we're paying him the most this year. I think that I like how it's kind of a little bit front loaded. That was different than DeJounte and Derek's contracts. In most contracts in the NBA, obviously the Spurs are the Spurs, but most contracts in the NBA, they increase each year. So for him to take a bargain deal like this, where in the later years of his contract, we actually save about 3.5 or $5 million bucks. That could be the difference between signing a key role player, to get you into the playoffs, than not, 3 or 4 years from now. So I like that aspect of it. Obviously, like you mentioned, we believe Keldon has all-star potential. Draymond believes he's got all-star potential, and we know that he's the king of Twitter right now. I don't know if you've been seeing all of his tweets about the old school stuff. So, hopefully we can get, there's been some Draymond comparisons to Keldon. Obviously, we know he is much more of a better perimeter player than Draymond, but when it comes to his attitude, we hope that he just gets all the best aspects of it and not not the craziness that Draymond brings, but definitely has all-star potential. If he can continue to be a 40% three-point shooter, all he has to do is just clean up the rest of his game because he has all the talent. It's just, still sometimes when he's driving to the basket, he's just like a barrel roll and he's not, So as soon as we get a little bit more finesse for Keldon, he's just going to be something that's super hard to stop with his big body.
Especially if we put him at the 3, which is his better position than the 4. It'd be like he was batting with a weight for the past 3 years, having a guard guys 6'10" and strong and long, and all of a sudden he's getting guarded by guys that are his size, Jude. Maybe he will just explode if that is the case.
Now that you mention that, all I can think of is the other day I was on Twitter and in all honesty, I haven't watched a lot of anime since high school, just keeping it 100. But I watched all 720 episodes of Naruto in high school, okay?
Wow.
And the other day on Twitter, I saw the scene where Rock Lee is facing Gaara in the Chunin exams, and he takes off the weights off his legs. That's going to be playing the 3.
I don't know Naruto, but I do know Dragon Ball Z, and there is something very similar in that when Goku goes to King Kai's planet with more gravity so he can get used to training in different gravities.
Well, I'll give you some context. I know some of our listeners may know, but basically Rock Lee, he's like this ninja that doesn't have any powers, and so he trains with these 1,000-pound weights or whatever you know, like, and he's been kicking and training like with them on for his entire life. And then for this battle to like become, I think, like, I don't even remember what the tuning exams is, what you do if you win it. But anyways, he takes him off and he's just like the fastest person you've ever seen. So
shout out to Rock Lee.
yeah. I don't know if Keldon will be that fast, but the point is he's going to be unleashed. Ideally.
If we play him at the 3.
Yeah,
please,
and you know, I'm saying this, Ethan, and we already said this last episode, but I don't care because it's like, if he's unleashed and just goes for 25, man, it's not going to happen. But if he gets close to 20 points and we have close to 40 wins, I'm just going to be thoroughly frustrated. I don't think that that's going to happen, though. We had 33 last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
We're not going to get to 33.
There ain't no way. There ain't no way. Yeah.
No.
That's good. Because, Lord. But anyways, hopefully he can have a good year. The only thing is you just don't want it. I don't know. We're probably going to get another empty stats thing, but maybe we can get a cool all-star appearance out of it like we got with DeJounte this year.
I could see that. Fingers
maybe.
crossed.
I don't. Yeah, we'll probably need some help. Like we did with DeJounte. The problem is
the West is so loaded, especially at Keldon's position, that even if he were to average like 25 and 10, like the odds of him getting
Brandon Ingram might still get it. Yeah.
Exactly. There's just
that's a really good point. So $20 million for Keldon to just score this year with nobody. Yeah, I don't really have any more thoughts on the contract. I mean, I'm just glad that we have him locked up. When I saw this after the DeJounte thing, it made my heart a little bit more healed. But, it's still not gone completely.
I like the contract, dude, because we're not going to be competitive getting into the playoffs probably until the third or even last year of his contract. And then we can just reevaluate where he is. Was he worth that $20 million? Yes or no? And then figure out where to go from there.
And with the money getting lower, that'll make him more movable too.
Exactly.
So that's a really good point. But another thing that we wanted to talk about today, Ethan, is the Spurs training camp roster. So we're about to get into that, but before I move into it, any final thoughts on Keldon's extension?
Nope.
Me either. All right. Well, y'all, let's go ahead and move into this section of the show. I want to give a big shout out to Noah Magaro George. He tweeted this out a couple days ago, and it was just the Spurs roster as of right now. Obviously, there's still the random potential of a Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook trade involving the Spurs where maybe, one or two of these guys get shipped. But honestly, I think the Spurs are trying to stay out of that.
I think so too.
And I don't blame them. So I think that this is going to be the training camp roster, Ethan. We can kind of go down, brick by brick here in a second. But let's just talk about like an overall perspective of the roster. Obviously super young. Obviously going to be near the bottom of the league. But any other like overall takeaways that you have when you just look at the guys?
It's going to be a rough year, but I'm excited nonetheless just to see all these guys compete because I really don't know what the depth chart's going to look like. I don't know who's going to get minutes. We don't know who's going to be a rotational piece, who's just going to be warming the bench. Like, for all we know, Gorgie Jang could have significant minutes. Like, honestly, we have no idea what Pop's going to do, how he's going to run this thing. We don't know what position Keldon's going to play. We don't know if Primo's going to be the starting point guard or the six-man role. We really just – or even if Jeremy Sohan, our top pick in the lottery this year, we don't even know if he's going to get minutes. Like, there's so many variables. So I'm just very excited to kind of see how it all plays out.
I completely agree with you. It's a big question mark. I feel like last year coming into the season, we were even talking about it on this show. Like, this is the year where, we finally get to see the young guys. There's so much potential. But now with the moves that they've made with the DeJounte move, obviously the 3 draft picks, and getting even younger, it's like that has just been pushed into overdrive. And yeah, we're going to suck. But at the same time, it should be a lot of fun, and it should give these guys a lot of time or a lot of opportunity to develop this season and really see what we got. The main 2 guys, and this is pretty obvious, but the main 2 guys that stick out to me when I just look at the roster is Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson. I'm just excited to see them in just this leadership role. I know they're not going to win a lot of games, and we shouldn't expect them to at their age with their experience level, but just to see them in that position and how they handle it, I'm really looking forward to.
Another thing I didn't even think about until I looked at this tweet, Jude.
Mm-hmm.
Romeo Langford might have significant minutes. Like we could be
Mm-hmm.
completely missing on something here that he was in that Boston trade for a reason. Obviously, the
Watch
Spurs
him come
thought
out just a sniper.
he could. I mean, he had a really good game. I know his jump
Bro.
shot is atrocious, but he had a whole offseason with the Spurs
Dude,
system.
if he comes out and Chip just tweets, "That was my last work." He's
My
just a
magnum opus.
sniper. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's going to happen, but if he can come out and hit a 3 and it's not atrocious, then Chip England is I mean, I don't even know when he's retiring. I know it's just imminently soon. I didn't even read the article. I'm such a
Yeah.
great podcast host, but um, anyways, the point
Yeah.
is, if Chip England in his last days had any improvement to Romeo Langford's jump shot, we already should build a statue, but that should pay for the statue tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And Keith Young just brought up a point that I was about to get to. Another
Hmm.
reason the season is exciting. At the beginning of last season, we were still under the old way of thinking where the Spurs will not be making any trades no matter what happens. But they
Hmm.
traded Derek White, who was a pretty significant player on our roster last year. So the four guys at the bottom of that thing are really they could be traded. And maybe not Gorgie because he's kind of a veteran,
And we
cheap
just signed
deal.
him.
We just
Yeah.
signed him, but Doug McDermott, Josh Richardson, Jakob Pertl, all guys that could be on the
Even
trade
Keita
market.
Bates. You can throw there in there. Yeah.
Even Zach Collins, he's who knows? He's not guaranteed. Because we thought what's his name was a project player that we were going to hold on to. The Australian, I already forgot his
Jock
name,
Landale.
Jock Landale, and he was moved pretty, you know, it wasn't even
Just
a
like that.
significant trade. He was
Yeah.
like, okay, bye. He's no longer on the team. Bye, Jacques. So that could definitely happen to Zach Collins. I don't think any of those guys will be gone by the beginning of the season. I think all those deals, if they even happen, will be around All-Star break. But it's something to keep our eye on that the Spurs will be in rumors throughout the season, as those guys all could be helpful pieces for contending teams.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Just another point on Zach Collins. Obviously, still got 2 years on that deal with that unique kind of double team option. So that's another contract. Once again, attractive for
Yes.
maybe a team like the Lakers or something. But yeah, you mentioned the depth chart at the beginning of this, and before I even decided to just go with the Noah Magaro George tweet, I was trying to make the depth chart myself, looking at it, and I was like, I can't do this. And so you mentioned before, and it kind of is to our man M Easy's point here, saying that he thinks Jones wins the starting PG role. Really, the dudes who have positions on this roster it's the centers, and then there's Trey Jones, and that's about it.
Yeah. We don't play. If you get drafted by the Spurs, you will not be playing the position that you want.
Unless maybe you could guarantee, even if it's G League, that Sohan will play the 4. But
yeah,
that's really, and then Isaiah Roby, that's another one we talked about too. Just because of the center kind of log jam, if you will. It's not really, but if Jakob and Zach start the season, they'll probably get the minutes considering what happened last year and the way that Pop does things with continuity. Isaiah Roby will be playing the 4, which. Look, it's not going to make a difference this year when it comes to wins, but when we're watching and we're like, hey, he's 6'8", 240, and can stretch the floor, he should actually be playing that position, and he'll be able to match up with the guy that he's playing size-wise the majority of the time, which unfortunately Keldon has not been able to. And, I'm thinking more about this, and this is such, an obvious thing, Ethan, but, last year when he emerged as a three-point shooter, wouldn't that want you to move him to the perimeter even more?
Talk about Keldon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just can't believe I never thought of that thought. That should just be the most obvious thing.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But no. We're going to put a 6'5", sharp-shooting guard at the 4 spot.
Yeah, I know.
He is a 2 guard coming into the NBA. That was what he was listed as, a 2 guard. And we were like, okay, we can play him at the 3. He's a strong guy. And they're like, no, we're going to play him at the 4. Next year,
I get it. Look, I get it against the Warriors, or the Rockets. If you're having to adjust to some team that's playing small ball, I don't mind. If he's playing Jayshawn Tate, I don't care because the Jayshawn Tate is 6'4". You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Draymond's 6'6", just like him. I don't mind that. It's just when we're playing freaking, I don't know, some Luka Samanic type character.
Kristaps Porzingis
Yeah,
looked like a god. I went to that game.
And it's like Kristaps is not like that. They were just
No.
playing him at the 4 because he had a freaking, what, 9-inch advantage over Keldon?
Yeah, he's
7-3.
7'4".
Yeah, or 7-3 to 6'6".
Yeah, it's not even fair. Even
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam, who's not even like
Yeah.
he's like 6'9", he just like putting in the work on Keldon.
I was at that game actually, or one of the Raptors games that was at home, and I remember that.
Jaren Jackson Jr. I was at that Memphis game.
That's the one. That's a great example.
Abused him.
And it's like that's a 4. Like
yes, he is a true power forward.
Yeah.
It sucks, but honestly though, if we really want to talk about what's going to happen with the depth chart, it'll probably be Dougie McBuckets at the 4. Start the season at least.
Just like last year.
And maybe Isaiah Roby backing him up, and then Jeremy Sohan
in Austin.
Unfortunately.
Oh Lord, yeah. Well, so actually, here's another interesting question. So, and I was thinking about this when I was making the depth chart, right? Just doing my guesses. So I think Blake Wesley, he'll be at the point. Malachi Branham, he'll be at the 2. Probably both. Well, not probably. Definitely both in Austin. Maybe they'll get some spot minutes here or there, but the majority of their time will be there. But where is Josh Primo going to fit? Because we don't really have another point guard. I feel like we're going to end up... See, that's the thing. Like, I'm with them easy. Like, Trey Jones is the best, like, true point guard on the team, but we don't really have another one. And I feel like I think he's going to start, too.
At the point guard spot? They really believe in him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I know he didn't have the best summer league, but like just with the vibe that it seems like coming from them. Like, dude, I don't know if you've seen this. There's a Primo billboard in San Marcos. Like, you know what I mean? I was driving down I-35 the other day. I'm like, dude, what is this? Like,
yep.
So
he's that guy, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it because we're not going to win games with him at point guard or whatever. We can put him at power forward and probably win the same amount of games. But I do agree with you. I would start Trey Jones and have Primo come in off the bench as that backup point and just let him go crazy. Just like, all right.
I'd like that too. I think it'd be a better situation for him also, just when you look at the summer league performance and the turnover struggles that you mentioned in the G League. I just think that that's going to be a better situation. And he can be more of like a Manu type. I mean, not like actually Manu, but just on the bench, he's going to have a little bit more freedom than he would in the starting lineup. So, the good thing about Primo is he's versatile. Obviously, once again, not the greatest summer leagues. We're going to hope that improves. But he's had some starts, at the 3. He can play 1 through 3. But I think out of everybody on the roster, he's probably the most, the one with the most experience playing point guard other than our man Trey Jones.
Or they surprise us and all of a sudden give Blake Wesley significant minutes.
Maybe.
He did have a really nice summer league.
That would be that.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I mean, he'd have his turnovers, but I'd enjoy that. I'd actually thoroughly enjoy that, just because I like watching Blake Wesley. But
yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
I was just gonna say we got some comments in here that I wanted to get to. So our man Marco but goes on was saying, I think Primo will start, but his minutes per game will depend on performance. That I think that's a really nuanced take that I could see happening for sure. Our man Keith Young has another good point. Primo's jersey is the first one you see on the website. He was also the one in the self-reveal. And our man Bobby February, they're pushing Primo like crazy. Yes, they are pushing P. I'm so culturally relevant.
Yes. You are, Jude.
And then our man Millennial Movie says that Primo will be eased into the starting PG spot, but it'll be Trey to start. I could see that happening too. But honestly, one of the big things that I want to figure out is this. Eric Pacino, you're bringing up a great point. I'm actually bummed we missed out on Days. Not sure how we would have used him. Jordan Hall has an interesting height for a PG. I like Jordan Hall, and I like his versatility for sure. But I am pretty bummed that we missed out on Darius Days. Like, because let's look at the 4s on this roster. Isaiah Roby and Keita Bates. Like, where's the other 4?
Jeremy
Sohan. There you go. My bad. I can't believe I forgot that. But I don't know. Maybe, and now that I look at that, I guess
Yeah, I mean, I like Darius Days too. He had a great summer league, but in reality, had we signed him, he would have just been the second coming of who was our boy last year that looks like a linebacker
Honestly, oh God.
that,
I
that
don't,
got
I don't,
re-
I
that
don't
got
know who you're
crazy
talking
boards in
about.
Austin.
That's so funny.
He got crazy boards in
Linebacker?
Austin.
Linebacker. Who is this? I can't believe I don't know
What
who
is
this
his
is.
name? He was a two-way. He got like amazing boards in K-Cock.
Oh, K-Cock.
He would have just been
No,
our new
he would have been
K-Cock.
better than K-Cock.
Well, that's just what would have happened. Let's be
He was a
honest.
sniper.
He would have been K-Cock. Like we wouldn't have played him
No,
until
you're right.
like
Yo, we wouldn't have played him.
3 minutes left in the
It was
fourth.
just a LSU fever dream for me. And the other thing that I was mentioning, getting to this, like actually reading through the roster, we actually have 3 centers and power forwards. So Jordan Hall might have actually been, roster-wise, something that they haven't done over the past couple years that fit. And the other thing that I do like about Jordan Hall watching him is, yes, he's listed as a guard and a point guard, but like in today's NBA, he can play 1 through 4 at 6'8".
Yeah, that's true.
He might get pushed around at the 4, but he's still gonna be better than Keldon.
I do got to say one thing. I mean, it's not our roster. This is Noah Magaro George, but we are missing Wieskamp.
Well, so the reason that we're missing Wieskamp is he's not accepted his qualifying offer. He's technically not on the roster. So I'm pretty sure he's going to accept that. Like he was posting a camp and it was like a graphic game in the Spurs jersey. Probably what will happen, to honestly, looking at the Keita Bates non-guaranteed thing, it might be Weezy versus Keita Bates in training camp for that last spot.
Probably.
Because last year we went in with Al-Farouq Aminu and the gang. So
that's true.
But another great point, Jordan Hall 20. I thought Jordan Hall was like, I don't know why, but I thought he was like a 5th-year senior or something. So seeing that he's 20 years old, yeah,
Going age.
that definitely makes me feel even better about that. But can shoot the 3, has playmaking ability. Look at Devin. I was thinking about this. Look, and obviously we haven't seen it on the court, but look, if Jordan Hall can just gain 10 pounds of muscle like over the next year, like he's already like he could play the 4, you know what I mean? So I mean, he'll probably definitely be used at more of the guard spots, but he's just a super versatile player at 6'8". So I like his potential there with versatility. And that's the same thing with Dom Barlow. I think that's kind of the theme in Austin this year and with the Spurs 2-way contracts is versatility, because even though Dom Barlow will mainly play the 4 and the 5, I think for his entire career, whether it's with the Spurs or not, the fact that he can put the ball on the floor, on the perimeter and kind of drive to the basket, that's something, not a lot of bigs have it. Something Jakob doesn't have, or Zach. So I like the versatility that the Spurs are going with in Austin. Our man GH says 12 and 70 this year, LFG. Victor Wembanyama's coming home, baby, next Timmy.
Ooh. Honestly, wouldn't be that upset.
I wouldn't either. If that's really their plan, like, and he just watch us like play him at the 4 too.
Victor Wembanyama.
He's just Timmy,
a 7 foot like 4 power forward,
just a troll. Oh my gosh.
And Zach Collins at the 5.
No. We'll probably play Victor Wembanyama at the 5. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm trying to think of some other kind of topics here whenever it comes to, those middle positions, if you will, because I think we've established it's going to be Primo and Trey. But when it comes to that, unless Blake Wesley, but I think they'll throw Blake Wesley in Austin for this year. And the other thing is maybe they decide they want to keep Blake Wesley like over Trey Jones. They play Trey Jones out this year on this minimum, let him ride off into the sunset in free agency. He'll get a deal somewhere, and then bring up Blake Wesley next season to play behind Primo.
It'd be kind of crazy.
What's up?
All-Star break, we trade Doug and Josh and Jakob for just like draft capital and maybe like some trash player just to make sure our roster's still filled out. And then we bring up Malachi, Blake, Sohan, and just let them finish out the season.
I like that.
I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, because if we just and then you kind of get the best of both worlds, right? Because if you just play Wesley, Sohan, and Branham all in the G League, like, all right, until the All-Star break, You're going to play in Austin. And you
Yeah.
play them with Dom Barlow and Jordan Hall. There's your starting lineup, right? And then at the All-Star break, you make a trade with Doug, you make a trade with Jakob, you make a trade with Jay Rich. Move them all up.
I could see it happening.
And, I mean, at that point, you're not going to win anyway, so you might as well just play Gorgie at center.
Yeah, literally.
Who cares? Like, Gorgie's going to stretch the floor more than Jakob can. So
Romeo Langford starting point.
That's the other thing. Like, you mentioned Romeo earlier, and I didn't really talk about him too much, but I'm really interested to see, because he's guaranteed. Like,
he's on the team.
And so I'm really interested to see if that was actually a piece that they wanted in that Derek trade, and if we're going to use him, as a backup 2 or 3 throughout next year.
I bet he plays for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. Our man Mark Obed goes on, has another question here. I'm more interested in if the Spurs will spend Victor Wembanyama to the G League too. I don't think so. I'm with my man GH Simmer Down, Mark. I get where you're coming from, because it's like, just with the way that the Spurs are, man, you still almost think that it's going to happen. But I think in that situation, just like they did with Timmy, they just play him immediately. Ideally.
I hope so. Jeez.
Our man M Easy says that Keldon is going to play majority at the 4. Write it down. To be honest with you, I know we're talking about it and we're like, he's going to play the 3, but me and Ethan we just want it to happen so badly that we don't even want to acknowledge the thought of it not happening. But the thing is, M Easy, if you ask me and Ethan, honestly, we agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably, that's the thing. I don't get it, but.
And then they're going to tweet, Jeremy Sohan going to start this week or the next game. We're like, oh my god, yes, Keldon at the 3, and then they're gonna put him at the 5.
Yeah, they're gonna
Keldon at the 4. I'm like, oh my god,
and they're gonna run him as like a point center.
Oh,
be like, what happened to you, Pop? What happened?
Then Jokic is just gonna dominate us.
Oh my gosh, oh Lord. All right, well, you know what? Let's do some fun stuff with these lineups. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull up my notes that I had earlier, and we're gonna make some fun lineups here, Ethan, for the people. So this is gonna be our starting lineup of choice. That's what we're gonna do. We're going improv here.
Okay.
This is not on the regularly scheduled programming, and I'm gonna pull up.
So this is what we want, not what we think.
And I'm gonna put it on. Let me screen share real quick. That's the wrong button. Here we go.
Technical difficulties.
No, we're good. Here we go. All right.
You gonna burn that DJ jersey behind you?
What we're gonna? Oh my gosh! We're not even gonna talk about that. Oh my gosh! All right, so y'all can ignore just the other notes that I have in there. But what we're gonna do here is
goals, no fast food. Sorry,
that's so funny. I didn't even see that one. It didn't work, let me tell you. I had Whataburger last night. All right, So let's make our roster here, Ethan. Who is your ideal starting lineup? And we can actually we'll do starting and backup. Just like, who would you want the Spurs to play if you had the keys?
I have the keys. I have complete control. Give me Trey Jones.
All right, as the starter?
Mm-hmm. Give me at the 2. Give me Big Dev.
All right.
Give me the $80 million a year, Keldon Johnson at the 3. $80 million, not a year, over 4 years. Sorry, at the power 4. Give me Jeremy Sohan, Jude.
Dude, I was playing 2K the other night, and I wasn't even playing I was playing in like just a franchise, right? And the Pacers had Sohan, and I was somebody else. But I was just like, even in 2K, even the user-generated player, I was like, dude, we got to start Sohan.
Yep.
It's like the one that somebody has made or whatever, not even the real face scan. Oh my gosh.
All right, give me at the center. Give me Jakob Poeltl.
Gotcha. Another thing about Sohan, I know some of the guys that follow us at least on Twitter, are UFC fans. I'm a pretty big UFC fan too, and they had it in London this past weekend, and Jeremy Sohan was there, and it was so funny because I was watching it with a bunch of Spurs fans in San Antonio, and like as soon as he came up on the screen, it was like the last thing we were expecting. We were like, no way! So it was cool to see Sohan.
He's a funny dude.
Have you seen, like, yes, my friends were telling me about this, like the videos of him on the sideline. He's like, you can't shoot, you suck.
He is awesome. His accent would bother me so much if he was trash talking me. Like I can see why he would get under your skin.
Yeah,
like he's just that guy. I love it. All right, backing up Trey. Give me my boy Primo. Ooh, at the 2 spot. Ooh, give me Jay Rich. At the 3. Give me. This one's tough. You know what? Give me Doug McDermott.
Well, who are you deciding between there? I'm kind of curious. What made that one so tough?
I was thinking about going with Romeo.
Ooh,
I didn't.
Yeah.
Back up power forward spot. Give me Isaiah Roby.
You know, Ethan, I wish that we could do another one of these, but I think yours is just going to end up being what I would do.
and give me Zach Collins.
Yeah. No, this is exactly what I would do. The only change that I would maybe make is if we trade Jay Rich and we just move Primo to playing over here and then just start Wesley off the bench.
Yeah, I was thinking about Blake Wesley, but
that would be that'd be the only other thing. But
and then if we trade Doug, put in Malachi Branham or Romeo Langford.
But this could also be like, we were talking about the trade deadline thing. It could be something where we trade Jay Rich at the deadline and then do this after. And I'm not mad at that either, because like I've said in other episodes, I love Jay Rich. I feel bad for him because it's like he got here like right when we traded away DeJounte. Yeah, because I felt like him and DeJounte and Keldon, like that was a good little thing going. And
I'd love to keep him around for the rest of his career if he was give him like minimums from here on out,
something like $6 million, something reasonable.
Because he's one of those guys off the bench that he's a contributor, yes, but just his leadership in the locker room, what he brings in that side of things is just how do you put a price tag on that? And he seems to really like San Antonio. He loves Pop. He likes the young guys. So, I wish we could keep him around forever. But if he wants playtime, if he wants to win, just to be good to him, we should probably trade him. But if he's willing to lose, let's keep him.
And the thing is, he's not like that old. So the thing is, like maybe at like the end of his prime, we might like have like a playoff game or series or something. Not
give
even
him some
crazy,
minutes in the finals.
Like, oh gosh. Oh Lord. But I think the main thing here, Ethan, is these two. This is what we need to see, and we're not going to see it. We're not going to see it.
Where in reality,
Keldon's going to start at the 4, like our man M-Easy says, unfortunately. Yeah. And what the crazy thing is, we're still going to play Isaiah Roby, but we're going to play him off the bench.
Yep.
Or Doug. I didn't think about Doug. That's actually probably what's going to happen. But the thing is even though they list Keldon at the 3 when we play Doug at the 4, technically, really what's happening when we play that is Doug's playing the 3 and Keldon's playing the 4. Doesn't matter where they are in the graphic on Valley Sports.
And Jeremy Sohan probably won't get any minutes, and then Romeo Langford might get some minutes in reality. Yeah. That's just how it is. But I like this lineup. We got playmaking with Trey, guy that doesn't need to score. Devin is an ISO scorer, but he's also an off-ball shooter. He can create his own shot. Keldon, absolute sniper. Like to see him get into his bag this season. And then Sohan is locked down all the 4s. He doesn't even need to score at this point. Like he can just be a lockdown defender and a playmaker out of the post, something we haven't had. And then Jakob Pertl, we know what Jakob does. Like I think that's a solid lineup. I wish we would go with that because we're not going to win no matter who we put in there. But at least we can kind of see what Sohan's made of, what Keldon's capable of at the 3 spot. I like that. I like that, Jude.
I do too. I just really want to start Sohan because I feel like that would just like solve every position problem that we have. Literally. Or if you're not going to start Sohan, start Isaiah Roby and like play him off the bench.
Yes, please. I wish he would get some minutes. I mean,
we just need some 4s playing the 4.
we haven't really been in this situation before where we are like full on embracing
Mhm.
this whole rebuild situation. So maybe they surprise us. Maybe Pop's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm giving Roby and Sohan minutes at the 4, and Doug is just gonna be like sparingly used off the bench. Like, who knows?
Or yeah, maybe we play him at the 3. Our man Mark has got a request for third stringers, so we're gonna do it for the
Absolutely not,
people.
Mark.
We're gonna do it for the people. But this is pretty simple. So this is probably the more real. Well, it's actually not the more realistic version, but this is what we would prefer.
Yeah.
I think in this situation,
Romemo.
Romeo and Doug are kind of interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
And then KBD.
KBD.
And then Gorgie.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then, of course, the two-way guys.
Yes. So then you'd probably have our man
DM. Oh, DB.
Dom Barlow.
Would you call him Dom or DB? What would your nickname be for him in the future?
Probably Dom. Because I think his name is Dominic Barlow. I like DB too. I don't know. DB10. I don't know. Then he just sounds like DeMar DeRozan.
Belo.
Belo.
Get it?
Alonso? Anyways.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
D-Lo.
All right. And then I'm just going to put Jordan Hall at the 2, but he can really play
He's
anywhere.
An interchangeable guy, yeah.
Yeah. So that is our preferred Spurs roster, Ethan. But there's one thing that we haven't talked about in Spurs news that came out today that we're going to talk about right now. Just let me share my screen.
Absolutely not.
As usual, Ethan. As usual.
Oh, yeah.
So we do have new Spurs jerseys. We got new statement jerseys, Ethan. Okay, so I've had some opinions from some friends. They were not as high on these as I guess I was. I understand the Texas logo. The shape of Texas is just a little wacky.
Yeah.
I understand it's silver and black, but like that's also the Spurs colors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these are so much better than the grays, in my opinion. Like, granted, a lot of things would have been a massive upgrade over the grays. Like, when I first saw these on the Casey Vitelli stuff, he's been leaking a lot of the jerseys. Our man GH doesn't like them. And I get, when we made the logos video, y'all can go check. We're not the biggest fan of the new logos. We're not. I mean, that video is like one of our least viewed videos. It's probably because people didn't want to hear about them when they saw them.
Yeah,
but like,
probably.
go check the tape. We're not the great. Like, we think they could have done a lot more. But considering the circumstances, I'm actually pretty satisfied with this. I know it's not the greatest jersey of all time, but it's just still so much better than the grays, dude. And I like the design on the side. I know it's not. It'd probably look better in Fiesta colors. I understand that. But I think it matches SA. I think this is much more. It's just so much better than the gray jersey, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's an improvement, Spurs, but we could still do
better.
I don't like the Texas thing on the shorts. I think that's a weird logo, and we talked about that in our other video. And the SA Texas thing, I don't like that. I just don't like that. I don't know what I would rather have on there. I don't have the solution, but I'm not a fan of SA Texas with the weird spur thing that's like shooting off the X. It just doesn't work for me. But I do like. I agree with you. I like the side design. I think that's grown on me a little bit.
Is it still better than the grays though?
It's better than
opinion?
the grays.
Yeah.
I don't like the grays. I don't like the number up on the breast, like a frocket. Like it's weird. But we can do better. Come on, it's a good start, but we can do better, buddies.
I do agree with that for sure. The one thing, when I saw it at first, like I said, on the Casey Vitelli, on a lot of the releases that he's done, it looked like it was just going to be black completely. And so obviously that would have been a little bit more boring. I actually like the stuff on the side more. But yeah, I think that, I don't know, man. I just don't know why we can't make like a better jersey. Here was my idea from the start. Remember in the last Kawhi season when we had, basically they're the same as the gray jerseys. I know I said I hate the gray jerseys, but they're blackout. Like the number was black.
Yeah, I like those.
And it was just like literally the same thing as the gray, it was just a blackout jersey. Like that would probably look a little bit cleaner than this. And you could just do that in Nike. The good news is though, and yeah, it's like an Aztec design. GH, it's like a Hispanic cultural, like a lot of
It's
they
everywhere in
use
San
them for
Antonio.
rugs and yeah. So that's
Yeah.
kind of just a normal design that you kind of see around. There's Fiesta designs that look just like it. What was I gonna say though?
I do agree with Boudet though that the SA Ball logo would have looked a lot better than that Texas logo.
Yes, and it's like we came out with that however many years ago and never used it.
Yeah. I don't know why we don't. It's actually nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that we could do though that is like better as a
I
statement
think
jersey.
something about the silver. I wish we would just go white. No more
Yes.
silver. Like white
Yeah,
and
I
black
agree.
looks so much cleaner.
Yes. Yeah. I know they don't want to be the Nets, but like our jerseys are basically that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like our
yeah.
home. Yeah. The good news is though, guys, hey, this is the other thing. Look, yes, we have these jerseys. Yes, they're not the greatest. The good news is they're one, in my opinion. I don't know if it's in y'all's opinion. Still better than the Grays. But two, here's the key, guys. The throwback jerseys are here this year.
Way nice.
So
Way nice.
like we're not going to be wearing these as much because in all of our other years where we've had Nike jerseys, we haven't had a throwback. So that's going to take away from dates where we're wearing this, and then we'll also have the new Fiesta, which probably maybe won't be our favorite of the over when you compare them to the last two. But I'm still in the pictures I've seen on it, it's grown on me. The teal is a lot, but I think it's still going to be a solid Fiesta jersey. But yeah.
Yeah, the only problem I have with the Fiesta jersey is the font. I don't like the font.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 90s like elementary school font. And
Yeah, they're trying to make it like you remember the All-Star font for when they came to San Antonio.
yeah, it's
They're trying to make it like that, which I get. I'm wearing a Fiesta hat, so I can't really say much, but
we're getting better.
yes,
It's
an
no longer
improvement. Yeah.
We are getting better. Oh my goodness.
This is a minimal step in the right direction.
In 10 years, our jerseys are going to be nasty.
Why don't they hire us?
Well, I know why they don't hire us, Jude, because we don't have a fix. We
Yeah.
just have an opinion when they come out, where it's like, these are ass, but I don't know how to make them not that. So
Oh my gosh.
keep trying, guys.
Yeah, it did better. I know y'all aren't the biggest fan of it, some of y'all in the comments, but I actually like the stuff on the side.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think that's at least, I don't know, that's way more San Antonio than before. So hopefully they can get better. But yeah, with our man Boudet too, the SA Ball logo would have been so much better. All right, let's talk about with our man Easy here, just to wrap things up. He says, at least you guys are sensible when it comes to Primo. Some of their Spurs content creators have him as a superstar already. Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly. I guess this might sound bad. I guess I haven't watched a ton of like other stuff. But I mean, he's still 19, so it's really all there is to it. I think he has a lot of potential, but we're gonna have to wait and see.
His age, being 19 in his second year with the confidence level that he has, I mean, I could see why you would say he has superstar potential. But right now, with the turnovers and his performance in the summer league, and he's still just so young. Like,
Yeah.
give him time. Right now, he's not that, but I do think down the road he could be that because he's got all the tools, and he's got a grown man body already at this age. Like, the world is his oyster. It's just whether or not he decides to capitalize on those tools. But I think he will. He's got that personality.
Yeah, and we'll see how much, because if he just comes out and has a great year, then a lot of people are going to be like, okay, well, he was sick, in summer league, right? So we'll have to see.
I'm trying to stay sensible because I was on, I mean, this is before SSPN came on, but with the Lonnie Walker train, like, everybody thought he was the next Michael Jordan after that Rockets game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't want to get too carried away too quickly.
Yeah. I don't know where my sensible. I think Kawhi. I think everything in my life just comes back to Kawhi. The way that I think, the way that I operate, I've been hurt.
Jude kills 12 people in cold blood. It all just goes back to Kawhi Leonard.
Imagine on my murder documentary.
Yeah, making a murderer.
If Zaza Pachulia wouldn't put his foot under Kawhi, these children. Oh my god.
These children would have been alive.
We're gonna get taken off YouTube.
Oh yeah. That's fine.
Oh my gosh! If we go out like that, I feel like a legend. Oh my
Oh, I
gosh!
can't wait for Russell Westbrook and Lonnie Walker to have just the absolute worst hands backcourt, the worst backcourt as far as hands and holding onto the ball, like
Dude,
in
they
the
can't even
history.
trade Westbrook.
No, I don't think. I think he starts the
Did you
season
see the
with the
Pacers
Lakers.
news?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just nuts. Like I don't think anybody's gonna take him.
What on earth are the Lakers thinking? I mean, I think Russell
What is
isn't.
no, not the Lakers. Let's stop that. Let's address this what it is. This is the GM. This is his decision that he made last year,
Mhm.
and he's gonna come out and tweet, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy at the end of the year. Yes, I'll keep that same energy when the freaking Spurs kick the Lakers out of the play-in. Like,
It's true. Well,
what are you talking about? That just I'm
no, you're
not the
good.
biggest LeBron fan, y'all. So
I'm with you on that.
LeBron
I'm
is
with you on that. He
one of the
made
most
this
talented
bed.
players ever, but
Yeah.
his GMing stuff, like just the hypocrisy with it. Like you can't come out and complain like that when you built the roster and you went and you're like, I must have Russell Westbrook. I must have AD. Trade away Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, all these role players I would have right now. And then you're going to go complain about it. Get out of my face.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. The only reason I was calling out the Lakers was because of what they asked for Russell.
Also, the Lakers are definitely like they do that. I just needed to rant on LeBron there.
They were
Apparently,
like, we want Buddy Hield and Miles Turner and a first round pick for Russell Westbrook, who just had a colossal disaster of a season.
yeah.
Like, if you wanted to, I would have been like, okay, sure, like
Oh
Westbrook
my gosh.
for Turner or Westbrook for Hield straight up. Okay, I could see that, but the fact that you asked for two quality pieces and a pick
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm with you. Cause like you're trying to get him off the roster, so at some point it's like maybe you just don't know. Yeah, just take anything.
Yeah, what the
If
heck
they're
are
gonna
y'all
give you
doing?
freaking Miles Turner for Russell Westbrook, I know that sounds crazy to some people right now, but like at this point for the Lakers, that'd probably be better. Or Buddy Hield. Like either of those people are just gonna, especially Buddy Hield. Like you could just take one of those dudes straight up, and like the Lakers will be a better team next season, just getting him off the team.
But honestly, at the same time, though, Lakers fans blamed Russ probably way more than he was actually at fault.
Yes.
Like, he definitely did have an off year.
What were they expecting when he came in? Like, you're going to expect him to be an off-ball sniper? Like, what is going to happen? And then I remember there were some, like, I could see, I had a Lakers fan tell me before the year started, oh, we can use him as a cutter, and a playmaker.
Deshaun?
Yeah, I love him to death because I saw it and I was like, when he told me that, I was like, you know what? Okay, I can actually see that. But, because we were talking about it, this was like going back to high school football games. Did not work that way.
No.
But yeah, I'm with my man, Mark Opencots. Brian right over Lichia.
Sorry, we kind of went on a tangent there. But
that was 100% me. Just
no, you're good. I was with it too. I'm with there. I was right there with you. It's not just you. It's not just you.
Alrighty. Well, any final thoughts on this SSPN stream? We appreciate y'all hanging out today. I know it's been 10 days since the last one, but just, we had to wait for a little news bump so we could come in and give you a good 50 minutes.
Yeah, we don't like to just create random rumors
and random stuff.
Yeah, just to have content to put out there. Like, we're actually waiting for something to talk about. So
yeah,
we appreciate you guys staying with us.
Yes, we do. We'll get these jerseys off the screen for y'all, and now it's just back to us. So you should enjoy it very thoroughly. All right.
That's right.
Any expectations? What's your key position battle for training camp?
I mean, I guess the only battle is at the point guard spot, maybe, because like all of a sudden Primo is like extremely impressive during training camp. Maybe he gets bumped up to that starting spot, and they do that thing that I can't remember who brought it up. Was it Boudet or somebody or Easy saying that maybe Mark that his minutes will be based on performance. I could see maybe that being a battle. The only other battle is, I guess, at the power forward spot, but I don't know if that's a battle as much as it is, will Pop be willing to play a rookie? We'll see. But I don't know if it's a battle as much as it is Pop kind of having to hurdle this thing that he has in his mind where you can't play a rookie at like significant minutes until like halfway through the season, if not like further into his career.
Yeah. Honestly, mine is Wheezy and KBD.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. That's not a
Because
position battle. That's more of like just like a roster spot battle.
yeah, but I'm kind of excited just to see who ends up winning that one because I saw something that said he accepted. I know, and the reason he didn't talk there. I saw something that said that Wieskamp was offered and then he had accepted it. Or maybe he hasn't. He has like a certain time to accept it, and like he's going to, but it has to, because it's a qualifying offer. They have to wait until the end of free agency. I don't know if y'all know that happens in 2K too, so that gives you guys a little bit more understanding there. But yeah, him versus KBD to see that last roster spot. I'm really interested.
I like both of them, man. That's such a sad thought that one of them won't be on the
It's
team.
just because we had a freaking. It's because we had a three first round draft picks this year.
Yeah, and Romeo.
That's the issue, because unfortunately, I think if I have to make a prediction in that one, I think it's gonna be KBD.
Yeah, especially with the Isaiah Roby signing.
Just with the position too, then you have a perfect 3 players at each, and he's just. I mean, I don't know. He's not as much I don't know. He didn't come into the league as a sniper like Wheezy, but he has more experience at this point, and it's been more of a stretch 4. You know what I mean? He's still a solid 3-point shooter. So it's
good defender.
Why would you?
Wheezy. You know what's
we
crazy
just
about
drafted
Wheezy?
Branham. It's so tough. It's so tough because he's a good player. He's gonna go and find a contract somewhere, I hope.
Wieskamp is one of those crazy dudes to me. When he was with the Spurs playing NBA minutes, his jump shot just wouldn't fall. It was the weirdest thing ever. I don't know if it was confidence or just he had an off night or he was cold because he's been sitting on the bench for 45 minutes of the night. But it just couldn't get it to fall. That's his main strength. But as soon as he was in the G League or the Summer League, he was just an absolute sniper. He just couldn't miss. And it was this guy has some crazy upside. I can't believe he was a second-round draft pick.
He was more physical in the paint. He can rebound and dunk, too. He's not just
showed
a
a lot of skills that we just didn't think that he had. So I'm hoping he can kind of find the confidence.
Trade Doug and bring Wheezy in.
At this point?
This is what I'm hearing. I love you, Doug. But,
I love Doug, too.
We're not winning. Go send him somewhere where he can,
I love Doug McDermott. It's so sad. I actually really wish... I wish we were contending because he's such a nice piece for a contending team. I think he's a great guy.
Maybe we just figured out the roster. Maybe we're gonna offload that $13 million and bring in Wheezy, no problem. Then play Wheezy and Romeo at the 3.
He's our token. He's our token white guy.
There you go. Confirm. We can only have one at a time.
We can only have one white shooter on any team. It was
Yacht doesn't count. He's
no.
Wherever he's from.
Yak is light skin.
Zach is light skin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just messing around, but it is true though. We had Brent Berry. We had Steve Kerr. We always have that one token white guy that's a shooter. Matt Bonner.
I was gonna say Zach. Well, no.
Zach's not Matt. He's not Red Rocket.
I just thought I was I should have thought of that last year because then I could have maybe had hope for it.
I'm not a great shooter, but if Spurs want me, I'll join the team.
Ethan, we need you.
I'll be the 13th man.
Desperately. Oh my god.
5'7" out of Texas State University. 5'7", 145.
They're playing one game in Strahan. We're signing Ethan Quintero to a 10-day, baby.
That's how you get the boys out. Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Well, we appreciate y'all being in here. If you did enjoy today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to re-listen or you're just popping in and you want to listen on podcast feed, you can go and head over to Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're on there as well. Just search SSPN. It's the audio replay of all of our shows. And then follow us on Twitter at Ethan_Quintero and at Jude McLaren to stay updated. We appreciate y'all very much. We'll catch y'all in the next one. I've been Jude.
I'm Ethan.
That's been Ethan, and we'll catch y'all.